Hey, I'm Dead Eden. Welcome back to another episode of Hate Watching Another Miss O. We're on episode 4. Okay, I don't know if this says anything about me or whatever, but it's the next day and I can't for the life of me remember what the cliffhanger was. I just remember it wasn't very interesting. Oh, I remember now! I was like, the only thing that they could have as a cliffhanger is Ipun Ohayoung coming back into the picture. And that spurred my memory. She did come back into the picture. In a marathon race. See, I told you, it was lame. It was a lame cliffhanger. She became a marathon runner? What is happening? Maybe it's relevant to the story, alright? Let's not judge too quickly. The subtitles didn't translate this. This says 오해영, and she says 이제 행복한 일만 있기를. ... 이제 means now. 지금 also means now. The difference is 지금 means right now, like this very moment, and 이제 has a connotation of now and into the future, from now on. 행복한. This is an adjective that was conjugated to describe an upcoming noun. It means happy. We have 일 and then 만. 만 is a particle that attaches to another word. It means only. So only whatever it's attached to. 일 means multiple things. Work, job, business, matter, affair, concern. It also means one. A fact, an event, a situation, any kind of occurrence. Oh, it also means day. Anything that can happen, basically, is what it can mean. So in this instance, I guess event or situation would be the best way to think of it. 있기를, this part, it comes from 있다, which means to have. It's the opposite of 없다, to not have. 기를, it's usually followed by the word 바란다, but that's omitted. Why is 바란다 omitted? It's a linguistic habit. 바라다, to wish, to want, to desire, to hope for, to long for. The suffix 기를 attaches to the verb stem to nominalize it, turn it into a noun form, and takes the object marker 를. It is commonly used with verbs like 바라다, to wish, 원하다, to want, 기대하다, to expect, and 기도하다, to pray. 기를 allows the speaker to express hopes, desires, intentions regarding an action. 이제 행복한 일만 있기를, and then this is omitted. From now on, I hope there is only happy things or situations. He's like a little creature that lives in her closet or something.
그 여자가 보일 때 죄책감 같은 뭐 그런 게 드나요?
그냥 쓸쓸해요.
I expected him to use the word 외롭다 here to mean lonely, but he used the word 쑬쑬하다. So I wanted to look up the difference. Why didn't he use 외롭다? And from what I gather, 외롭다, you're lonely because there's no one around you. 쑬쑬하다 seems to be more of an emphasis on a person's situation and a feeling that comes from their surroundings. Ohayoung, she has a lot of people around her. She has friends, she has family. She's very talkative at work to all her co-workers, but she still feels this loneliness and gloominess. So that's why he used the word 쑬쑬하다.
꼭 늙어서 죽기 직전에 아쉬운 순간을 회상하는 것처럼
Oh shit.
내 인생은 아주 슬프게 끝날 것 같은 느낌.
That's not a good sign.
어제 봤어요. 마라톤 하고 있더라고요. 아유, 진짜.
I have a feeling that this Oh Hae-young trauma she went through in school is actually worse than what she went through with her fiancé. And she's viewing what happened between her and her fiancé as a continuation of her high school trauma.
제가 제일 좋아하는 계절이에요. 밤바람이 따뜻해지는 계절.
Oh my gosh, remember in the third charm? They always had one character that did all the talking and then the other person would just not acknowledge anything that they said and would just sit there. That's what's happening in this drama. She does all the talking and he doesn't say shit. He's just there. It's just very boring. At least have him respond in some way. A wink, a nod, a sigh, anything.
미안해요. 그쪽 상처가 내 위로라고 해서.
He's not gonna respond. It's like talking to a wall. I don't know why she feels consoled. I've been cutting them out, but he keeps seeing these flash forwards, and they're just very insignificant moments. Like any little interaction he has with her, he sees it beforehand. Okay, we get it. We get that there's something supernatural going on between them. Why do we have to keep seeing this over and over and over again, especially when it's so insignificant? All these repeated scenes just seem like a waste of time. Yeah, my trash. You look in it, it's nothing but Pop-Tart wrappers.
앉아서 쌀했지. 변기에 흘리지 말고.
Wait, what?
누구야?
She told him to sit when he pees? You can't tell a man to sit when he pees. It's like telling a dog not to lift its leg to pee.
새거로 굶지 말고 아침에 나갈 때 하나씩 입에 물고 나가. 이사 온 지 며칠 됐다고 술병이 이렇게 쌓였어. 폐인 되려고 작정했어? 너 인생 막장이야?
우리 즐겁게 일하자.
즐겁게가 되나요?
Does he look like he's a
즐겁게
hugger?
하자. 부탁할게.
이번에 입사 동기 5명 중에 오대리만 승진 누락이야. 동기들 승진하면서 리뉴얼하는 TF팀에 다 들어갔고 결혼 전날 엎은 거 소문 돌아서 당분간 결혼하긴 힘들 거고 어디서 스카웃 될 리도 없고.
놀라지 마요. 나 이제 일 진짜 잘할 거예요. 내가 그동안은 팀워크를 생각해서 두각을 나타내지 않았는데
우리 브랜드 수술하는 TF 팀장 외부에서 영입해 왔는데 심지어 여자래.
그거 내 밥이다. 걱정 마요. 내가 제대로 잡는다.
Oh, it's gonna be 이쁘노. This lady is an alcoholic.
그 술 양보해라.
먹는 거보다 사랑하는 게 훨씬 재밌고 100만 배는 행복해요. 안 먹어도 행복해요. 사랑에 빠진 사람들은 맛있는 거에 그렇게 열광하지도 않고 맛없는 거에 광분하지도 않아요. 이미 충분히 좋으니까.
우리 회사 직원.
어?
회사에서 내 별명 지어 부르는 간끈 여직원이지.
이진상이라고 합니다.
아, 오해입니다. 오해입니다.
왜 이래? 왜?
딱 한 점.
동생이시구나. 아니, 이사님이랑 별로 사이 안 좋거든요. 제가 일방적으로 당하는 입장이긴 하지만. 그래서 그냥 저기 윗동네 산다 그랬어요. 괜히 엮일까 봐. 아무래도 이사 가야겠구나. 얼마나 됐어요? 결혼식 날 차인 거.
1년?
1년이 지나도 상처가 아물지 않고 여전히 불행하다는 거.
누가 그래? 내가 불행하다고.
내가요. 그쪽 머리끝부터 발끝까지 불행하다고 써있거든요. 눈빛에도 숨소리에도 불행이 그냥 뚝뚝 떨어져.
걔 나한테 구박 많이 받았다. 이름 때문에.
오해영 씨.
Oh, she's gonna relive high school now.
이거 제 거 아닌 것 같은데요. 감사합니다. 땡큐.
그런데 말이야, 이 많은 꽃 중에도 이 꽃이 제일 싱싱한 것 같은데? 내가 너무 구렸나?
성희롱입니다.
아, 이건 아니다.
아니에요. 기분 나쁘지 않았어요. 감사하죠, 예쁘다는데.
오, 쿨한데. 잘 부탁해요.
Oh,
오해영
great.
진짜
She's an enabler.
네, 열심히 하겠습니다. 맞지, 오해영? 야, 나, 오해영! 드디어 진짜 너무 반갑다.
엄마가 도와준다고.
엄마가 그래요? 감정 파는 거지. 기분 더럽게 죄책감 심어주면서.
들어와 얼른 붙이라고. 엄마가 장기를 파라솔에도 갚을 테니까 얼른 붙여.
먹는 거 이쁜데. 결혼할 뻔한 남자가 그랬다며. 먹는 게 꼴 보기 싫어졌다고. 괜찮다고 먹는 거.
See, this is why you don't trauma dump on people, especially people that you just met. What if this guy turned out to be an abusive person? And it happens a lot more often than you'd think. So what an abusive person does, or a predator, they gather intel on the person that they're trying to control. I personally call them sharks because it feels like you're being circled and they're waiting to smell blood in the water before they attack. and that blood in the water would be your trauma that they can use against you. So if he was the predator type, abusive person type, he would be using the intel of what her ex had said to her that really hurt her as a way to manipulate her. He can appear as being better than what she's had in the past. This can also work in the negative way as well, where he can repeat the horrible things her ex said to her in order to purposely hurt her and her self-esteem. But this method is typically used when the person is already trapped in the codependent relationship. They're trying to purposely destroy the person's self-esteem, so they'll continue to stay trapped in that relationship because they'll think, wow, maybe I do look ugly when I eat. I just need to be grateful that somebody wants me. Luckily for Oh Hae-young, I don't think that the male lead had a malicious intent in what he said here, because he genuinely looked surprised or even embarrassed after he said it. Wait, I just had a thought. Why do men receive 이쁜 Oh Hae-young so differently from 그냥 Oh Hae-young? And I'm thinking, like, her response to the sexual harassment earlier, I think maybe she leads men on. So she makes them feel like they all have a shot with her. Whereas 그냥 Oh Hae-young, she's not trying to garner favor from men. 이쁜 Oh Hae-young is a pick-me. That could be it. She could be a pick-me. I don't know. But that sexual harassment scene made it seem that way. We'll see. It's just a theory.
제가 내릴게요.
Make the men get off. What the heck?
마음이 울적할 땐 행복한 걸 떠올려 보아요.
먹는 거 이쁜데 괜찮다고 먹는 거.
저런 거 못 해봤지. 저렇게 달려가서 남자 품에 안기고 그러는 거.
얘도 못할걸.
이사님 저랑 띠동갑이세요. 제가 이사님보다 100배는 이쁘고 100배는 날씬하고
어쭈?
이번에 보인 영상은 그 여자가 내게 달려와요. 근데 만약에 여기서 내가 그 여자를 받지 않으면
Oh no!
그 여자를 끊어낼 수 있지 않을까. 이렇게 저렇게 피해도 결국 끊어지지 않을 것 같은 느낌이에요. 그 여자가 자꾸 나를 풀어헤치는 느낌이에요. 그만 불행하고.
This is so weird.
이제 같이 행복하자고.
Alright, now let's give episodes 3 and 4 their grades. The plot still isn't very interesting, but I can say that these two episodes were better than the first two. But I don't think it's because of the plot. I think without any mystery, it's very predictable in my mind. Like, I feel like I know everything that's going to happen, except for how it'll end. I don't know if this is going to be a tragedy or not. Judging by some foreshadowing, I'm afraid the male lead is going to die, okay? I'm just gonna say it. I guess that's the one thing that is keeping this a little interesting, is the foreshadowing hinting at somebody dying. I don't like tragedies though, so that doesn't make it interesting for me. The reason I feel like these two episodes were better than the last two, I think it's because of the character writing and the acting and chemistry, really. I feel like the characters are kind of coming into their own. They're showing more personality. Everybody's become acquainted now. They're interacting with each other and showing chemistry between each other. I liked some of those scenes with all the characters interacting together. It has a very strong improv vibe to it. It's not a bad thing, but when you're relying a lot on improv, you need to have actors that are good at improv and are comfortable doing that. And I think two of the side characters, I think they're very good. It's fun to watch them do their thing and their facial expressions and stuff in the background. I don't hate the male lead as much at the moment because he's showing more personality. I still don't think the male lead's acting is very good. You can see this when the female lead is basically monologuing and he has no lines. It doesn't mean he shouldn't be doing anything just because he has no lines to deliver. He should be acting with his body language. And I don't really see that much from him. He kind of just looks like he's daydreaming and she's like blabbing on in the background. I mean, that's what men do in real life when women are talking, so I guess that's realistic. But in drama world, it's very disengaging for the audience. Cinematography, special effects. I actually have a big problem with the camera work now. Before, I was like, okay, whatever. But I'm definitely seeing a lot more issues with it. Like all the camera cuts for no reason and the way that they're filming the male lead. Maybe they're doing this on purpose, but there always seems to be an obstacle between us and the male lead, like a physical barrier. So you'll usually see something in the foreground and then he's in the background, or his back is to us. And I think it's keeping us from fully connecting with him and even keeping him and the female lead from feeling like they're connecting. But they could be doing that on purpose. And we'll see, like, as we get to know the male lead and as he comes out of his depression, maybe the camera work will change. So that would be a nice attention to detail if they do that. Sound and music, I still like the OST. I don't like all the cartoon sound effects. Comedy, I still think the comedy is fine, but a problem I'm starting to have with the female lead's boss, she's clearly an alcoholic. She's a functional alcoholic. She functions at work, she goes home and just gets like blackout drunk. And they use her as comic relief. She's like the butt of the joke. The comedy is fine. It's just the fact that she's an alcoholic and they're making a joke of it is kind of weird. That makes it less funny for me. A lot of people had problems with the alcoholism in this drama, and I can definitely see it with her character in particular. I like the humor kind of in the background with facial expressions and the antics between like the male lead and his friend. There's some humor though that is not hitting. They're doing some stuff with the male lead's younger brother and his girlfriend that's just ew. So yeah, some of the comedy's hitting, some of it's not. Charm and iconography, I still don't really see it. Maybe a tiny bit of charm, especially in some of the side characters, but that's about it. When I think of charm, I think of a drama that might not have the best plot writing, a high budget, but there's something about their characters that viewers just fall in love with. Examples of Korean dramas with a ton of charm are Goblin and Strong Woman the Bong Soon. Those are two dramas where the writing was kind of a mess, but the charm was off the scale to the point where you don't even care. I'm also going to include cliffhangers in with the pacing because it has to do with it. If you have good cliffhangers, it makes you want to keep watching, even if the drama isn't great. This drama does not have good cliffhangers so far. It has a boring plot and bad cliffhangers and bad pacing. That's not good. It's not gonna keep people wanting to finish the drama. They're gonna end up dropping it. It's hard for them to improve the cliffhangers though because the plot's so boring. It's like, what can you do if you have nothing to work with? How do you make a cliffhanger? Coincidentally, that leaves Another Miss O again with an overall score of a C-. The disciplinary referral. What is my biggest issue with the drama so far? What would make me want to drop it right now? Poor cliffhangers. I think this is the biggest problem right now, because even if you have bad plot writing, if you have good cliffhangers, it'll keep you going. You'll probably hate me for this, but the drama My Name, the plot writing was so bad. I didn't like the female lead. I didn't like the direction the story was going in. I still got through that drama really fast. I think like maybe 2 days I finished that drama, just because the cliffhangers were so well done. It kept me wanting to see what was going to happen next. All right, meet me back here after watching the next 2 episodes. See ya.